Hello, hope you are having a great day. I would like to talk to you about consequences of our actions. Every action has a consequence. It could be positive, it could be negative. Positive consequences are always good. It's what everybody wants. It's what you desire. Even if it is not your original intention, if it happens to be positive, you will love it. Even a bad situation can have a positive consequence, such like even a bad news can have a positive consequence. Like there's a Yoruba proverb that says the burning of a king's house brings in more wealth. I don't know whether I'm translating that literally, if it's good enough, but the bottom line is that not every action which has a consequence that look negative is ultimately negative. What is important is for you to think about your action. What decisions have you taken today? What is the possible consequences of your action? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? If you have negative consequences, you have to be able to retract your step. You have to be able to know how to ameliorate the situation. Don't allow negative consequences to derail your life or your destiny, your situation. In as much as sometimes negative consequences can have a good effect, it can also be a debilitating factor in your career, in your business, your situation. If there are situations that happen and you allow it to linger just because you don't want to do anything, it can bring you down, especially if it is a negative consequence. Positive consequences are good because it could turn to profit, it could generate money for you, it could increase your income, it could lead to a promotion, it could lead to a situation. I mean, anything good could come out, could be a positive consequence. But negative consequence, we have to think about it. The funny thing is that most of these negative consequences, we are always aware of them before we take the action. You always know that this thing is not going to yield a good result. It's not going to lead to something good, but you will still want to do it. The question is, why did you do it? Now, peradventure, you had a blackout and you did it. What can you do to ameliorate the situation? Or how do you manage the situation? You need to learn today that situation management, conflict management is important and is part of achieving your goals in life. Don't let conflicts or negative consequences destroy your business or your life. Think well today about an action you want to take before you take it. Every negative action has a consequence that may not be good for you. And if you allow it to linger, can totally destroy you. You need to think about situations even before they happen. Preempt situations. Think about what is the possible consequences. What is the possible consequences? What can happen? What is the result? Sometimes people will say no action is better, but no action is also an action. You took an action not to do anything, especially if you know that not taking an action will lead to a negative consequence. Do take an action, but think about that action before you take it. I would like you to step back today, think very well before you take an action, especially something that can be recorded either in writing or in video or in a chat or in a phone call or in a voice note or messages. Think about it. We are in the days of social media. Don't go out doing anything and you don't know that people are recording you. That could destroy your life. Think about every action you want to take and don't rush any action. Don't act in anger. Always step back. Think about your decision. Think about the possible consequences before you take an action. Every action has a reaction, whether it's positive or negative. Situation, it will be determined by the situation. But don't be careless about your life. Don't be careless about your situation. Even if you escape the negative consequence, it could affect people around you or your children or your environment or anything at all. So think well before you take an action. Every action has to be backed up by a lot of thought, especially if it's something that you have not been doing before, you have not been doing regularly. Think about it before you take that step. Every step that you make will make or mar your life. Think again about that action before you do it. This is the thought for today. God bless you.